Hello and welcome to my channel On the Hook Crochet, where we talk about wearable crochet style. And let's find out what's been on the hook. Well, I'm finally finished with my coffee break sweater and I'm wearing it today, so I'm going to show you that in just 1 second. I've been working on my coffee break sweater for many days now, and I finally finished it. I've been wearing it all morning. I wore it out to breakfast this morning and it was very comfortable. Today I'm wearing it with a black tank top underneath, and not necessarily for the warmth but just for the coverage. The bottom part of the sweater is made in a lace design, and so you can see through it a little bit. So I'm wearing a black tank top under this. If you made this out of a white and a color up here, or a color and a white, you could wear that color tank top underneath it. So think about that if you decide to make this sweater. But you could also wear this in the fall and winter with a turtleneck underneath. So I wanted to step back and let you take a look at the whole sweater. It's of course done in a lace pattern in the front and also a lace pattern in the back. The arms are striped, and what I did was I took a stripe down the top of the arm. I also made a stripe across the middle, and if you've been watching my videos you will know that the progress that I've made on this sweater. And I designed it beforehand. I usually don't do that. I usually design my sweaters as I go, and sometimes I make decisions while I'm crocheting, but on this sweater I had it drawn out. I knew exactly what I wanted it to look like, and so I crocheted it to match the design. Now the design elements in this of course are the lace body and then the stripes, and the stripes are symmetrical. They're also, if you notice in the back, they match the front, so everything is basically matching. The stripe on the top is crocheted in the front fabric and also in the back fabric. So the pattern is not ready for this. The pattern will not be ready for at least a week or two because I'll be out of town this week, and I am not taking my computer. I'll take an iPad and some other mobile devices, but I won't take my computer, and I can be much more efficient typing on a keyboard. So I'll probably have that pattern out by mid or late next week. It's called the Coffee Break Sweater. I really like it. It's comfortable. It's very comfortable. And let me tell you what I made it from. I made it from Cobblestone, which is a Lion brand yarn. It is a size 4, all acrylic. Very nice yarn. It doesn't split. And Lion brand has started putting these little start ends at both ends, actually here and there. But this is the yarn pull, and it's so nice that you can pull from this cake. I know Lion brand in the past has not been all that good about doing that, but I really like these cobblestones. You can just start them right away. You don't have to spend time trying to untangle or pull a big huge ball of yarn out and try to untangle all that before you can even get started. So for this particular sweater I used 2.5 cakes of the Misty Rose, which is this color here, and I used 2 cakes of Licorice, which is the black color, and that's this color right here. Very pretty. I like it. It's very soft, but it is not extremely lightweight. So when you have this sweater on, you're going to feel it. It's substantial. It's not very drapey at all. So I enjoyed making this design out of this yarn. I have another design I'm working on using the cobblestone, and I have the purple color, and I bought several cakes of that. So I'm going to use it to design a sweater with a different stitch pattern on the front and back. So I'll show that to you in just 1 second. But I wanted to tell you how much cobblestone of this sweater to buy if you want to try the pattern. But some people like to get ahead of it, and before the pattern even comes out they'll already have the yarn ready to go. So 2.5 of the Misty Rose, 2 of the black. So you'd buy 3 Misty Rose and 2 black. If you make it in about a medium size, this is quite boxy actually. I made it very loose. It's not extremely boxy, but I probably have 2, 4, 6, 8, probably 8 inches of ease, which is a standard for me. I really like the 8 inches of ease. It lets the sweater hang loosely, but it's not so boxy that it's hard to manage up here. When you get up to the armhole, you have to address that. When you make a sweater very, very boxy, you're going to have a lot of material here. So you have to incorporate that into your pattern choice. Anyway, I wanted to tell you what kind of yarn I use to make this. And again, the coffee break will be out next week. And so be looking for that. And I'll let you know on Monday where I am on it. I probably won't be too far because I will not get back from my trip till Saturday. So on Monday's video, I might be able to give you an update on that. I don't know. But we'll see. Now, the coffee break sweater, it's going to make another appearance, and that will be with Mellowspun DK. And I've already started this sweater because I'm finished with this one. I started this sweater with Mellowspun, and you get this from Mary Maxim. I'll pull one out for you. This is a Mary Maxim yarn. This is some of the softest yarn I've ever felt. Now, I'm not promoting Mary Maxim at all. I love Mary Maxim. I'm a little annoyed about that beautiful Afghan pattern and kit that I ordered, and I want it to be here, but it's on back order, and that's okay. I ordered this and it came within a few days. So they had this in stock. This is called Ultra Mellowspun DK, and this is, of course, Mary Maxim. This is some of the softest yarn, and the reason is because it has nylon in it. It is an acrylic and nylon made in Turkey, 70 acrylic, 30 nylon. So 174 yards on the ball, and it's a 50-gram ball. So if you bought a regular hank, you'd be getting two of these, basically. If you bought a 100-gram hank or skein, that's how much yarn you get. But they sell this in 50-gram balls. So I bought 2, 4, 6, I guess I bought 8. I bought 8 balls, or maybe 7 balls of this Mellowspun. This is the taupe colorway in the Mellowspun DK. I wish y'all could feel how soft this is. It is extremely soft, extremely soft. Now, I bought the taupe, and for the coffee break sweater, which I'm going to make with a different stitch pattern for the body. I'm not making the same stitch pattern, but I'm going to make it on the same lines, no pun intended, the same stripes as the coffee break sweater. I also bought the color cotton, and this is just an off-white, not a cream, but it's an off-white, and I'm going to use that for the stripe on this sweater. So the body will be in the taupe, and the stripes will be in the off-white. So I can't wait. I'll tell you what I've done on it so far. It's a work in progress. It is I think this is actually the first skein of yarn that I've used. And this is, of course, the taupe. And this is how far I have gotten on this. Now, I'm going to tell you something special about this fabric. It was very, very drapey, first of all, because this Mellowspun is so soft that it makes this fabric very, very drapey. See, if you hold your fabric at the top and just shake it a little bit, it should be very easy to shake. A stiff yarn will not shake like that. This is more like curtains or something. It's really, really nice. I've used a G hook with this. This is the G hook. On the coffee break sweater, I used a J hook. On the Mellowspun, I'm using a G hook, which is a 4.0 millimeter. Now, I'm going to get this up very close, and you can see it's just a double crochet, but I'll tell you what I'm doing with this, and you've probably already done it. I know the lots of you have, and I have too in the past, but recently I haven't used this technique, but it's to crochet 2 rows at a time. Crochet 2 rows of double crochet at once. And it's a very interesting process. And I started out doing 1 row at a time, and this is what it looks like. And then I started doing 2 rows at a time. It starts right there. So it does look a tiny bit different, but not too much. 2 rows, 2 rows, 2 rows, and so on. And now I have about 6 inches done on this particular sweater. Now, I don't think I made it wide enough. And I mean, I've measured it, and it measures at 21 inches, which is a perfect fit for me, but not enough ease for a drapey sweater. I don't want a drapey sweater too close to my skin because it tends to grab, and I'd really rather have it be drapey and be big. And those are the best those are the best boxy sweaters, are the ones that are a little bit drapey because they hang nicely. So I'm not sure if I have enough ease in this. So what I'm going to do, and this is how I solved that problem without doing a lot of frogging. I'm not frogging this out. There are a lot of stitches in here and I'm not frogging this out. I actually had to frog a couple of rows because I saw a mistake where I had actually missed a stitch, and that's just not good in this kind of fabric because you can see it. So I frogged out a couple of rows. I've already done that, so I'm not frogging this out. What I'm going to do is I'm going to make the back, this is the front, I'm going to make the back just a little bit wider, and then I'm going to decrease to the point where I get to this width. You see what I mean? So at the shoulders it will fit, the back and front will fit to each other. Now this will have, of course, have a neckline in it like that, just like this that I'm wearing. It'll have a neckline like that, and then this will need to match the back because I'm going to obviously crochet the sleeves into the front and back fabric, and more than likely this will be a short sleeve sweater. It'll probably just be this long, and so it won't be very hard to match up to the back, but I'm going to make the back bigger, and so that'll give it enough drape, and then I'll fit it to near, when I get toward the top, I will fit it together. And as I move forward through this work in progress, I will show you that. I will show you how I fixed that problem so that when you get a certain way and you go, man, it's just really not wide enough for me, I think I'll frog it out. No, frog it out. Figure out a way to fix it. Now, you can also, besides making, in this case, the back larger, or the front larger, however you want to do it, because this doesn't have to be the front, this could be the back. You can put a gusset in, and that means to crochet along the side until you get it wide enough for yourself, and then match it with the other piece. So the front would be crocheted here for several rows, and then the back would be crocheted here for several rows. And if you're under the arm, that might be a problem. I don't know how that works. I would say you'd want to match it up before you start this stripe across here. You'd want to match up the two fabrics here and here. So that might not be as feasible as just making the other piece wider and then decreasing in to match this toward the underarm. And that's probably what I'll do in this case. But I'll let you know how that works out as I move forward on this project. But love, love, love this yarn. It is a little bit tedious for me to work with because I'm not used to working with a G hook. I made this with a J hook and it went quite fast actually. It didn't go crazy fast, but it went fast and I didn't have to feel like I'm not getting anywhere with it. But on this one, I'm going to have to work a little bit harder. So I'll let you know how that works out as I move along. Another project I have in the works is made from Mary Maxim. This is a Mary Maxim day. Made from Mary Maxim rag, R-A-G-G. Let me get that back here where you can see it. Rag, and it is 100% acrylic. This is the color denim, and it's a 4-weight, not really drapey, but fast to crochet. I've already finished the front. I have not finished all the way up the side here, but I do have one side already finished right there. And the sleeve is crocheted right in, so that won't be hard to finish this. I've already got the sleeve started on this side. I have to finish up the last of it and then make the back of the sweater. And I'll basically be done. That is what is so cool about this stonewash sweater. The pattern is out on my Etsy shop. It's very, very easy to make. If you have some 4-weight yarn lying around, you can make a sweater in almost no time. So I strongly suggest it. Now this, again, I said this in my last video, this yarn is very, very busy. This is a very busy yarn right there. And when you have it crocheted, it's also busy. So you don't have to spend time on a special stitch pattern on the body of the sweater or the sleeves. You don't have to do that. This yarn will be busy enough all by itself. So I'll put a very simple edging on it around the sleeves, around the top, and around the bottom, and I'll be finished with this sweater and I'll be able to wear it for this spring and summer. So I'm also making it out of this yarn, and it is so busy that I will not have to wear a tank underneath it. See, you can't even see my hand in there. So I'm excited. I can wear this. I can wash it in the washing machine. I can dry it in the dryer. And it'll be very easy to wear and look great with jeans. So there you go. That's one more project that I have in the works that I'm excited. It won't take me very long to finish that. I might be able to even finish that on my trip this week. Another of my many works in progress. Many, M-A-N-Y, not M-I-N-I. There are a lot of works in progress. This is another sweater I'm making from cobblestone. I mentioned this a minute ago. This is the Wood Violet, W-O-O-D, Wood Violet colorway in the cobblestone yarn. And I have quite a few of these, maybe 4 or 5 of these, so I'm in good shape. I am making this with a special stitch pattern in the front, and this is so I don't have to wear anything under it except underwear. This is an extended single crochet stitch pattern. It's not just extended single crochet, but that's what it's based on. So let me show you that. This is a very easy stitch to do, and it's not one that is always used, but I made a swatch of it, and I really liked it because it was just perfect for me. It was perfect for this yarn, and this yarn is just busy enough to make this sweater interesting, but it's not busy like that rag yarn that I just showed you. This is not at all as busy as that, but it's still busy. It's the color of the yarn and a little white yarn wrapped around it so that it gives it that kind of a tonal look from a distance. I really like it. And I had so much of it, I thought, I really need to use this cobblestone. So I made this sweater out of cobblestone, and I'm making this sweater out of cobblestone. And this is, the name of it, I'm not really sure how I'm going to even make it yet. I'm just doing the fabric and seeing how it drapes. It drapes fairly nicely, but see, this is the difference in that and the brown Mellowspun that I just showed you. When you shake it, it just doesn't fall forward and backward like the other. It just kind of moves in one piece. So this will more than likely be a short sleeve or a sleeveless or a cap sleeve sweater. That's probably how I will design this one, but it's just a really nice stitch pattern. I haven't ever used it on a large piece of fabric like this, so I'm really enjoying doing it. It's not hard to do. You move along pretty quickly, but it does give you that coverage, so you don't have to wear a tank top under this particular sweater. So I will show you the progress I'm making on that as I move along. All right, I have a correction from last week. I was going on about how wonderful this yarn was. This is lemongrass, very soft, number 2 yarn, and it is not cotton fair. It is bamboo pop. Bamboo pop is a yarn that I used quite a bit last year, and I've found this on the web, and I thought, this is a beautiful color. I really like the yellow. I just love this color. So it's 50% cotton, 50 bamboo, and it is very soft, and my guess is that the drape is going to be super nice on this. So I plan to make either a Busy Bee top or an America tank out of this. Really quick make, not hard at all, and I have 3 balls of this, so I'm in good shape. I have plenty of yarn for that. So I'll probably make it out of a stitch pattern, and the America tank is just a double crochet and in a J hook. But you know, the America yarn, if you haven't ever seen it, I'll show it to you when it gets here. I've ordered some more. The America yarn is very busy, and you don't notice what's underneath. Something like this, you'll probably need a pretty tight stitch pattern to get away with that. So I'll experiment with this for a few swatches and see what I come up with. But a solid color and a light color is, you're going to have a pretty tight stitch pattern to get away with not having to wear a tank top underneath it. So I'm excited about that, but I wanted to correct that. This is not cotton fair, it's bamboo pop. Last week I was talking about motifs, and motifs are small pieces of crochet like a granny square or a heart, a triangle, a hexagon, something like that, that is crocheted in a special pattern. So I talked about this pattern. This is the Baby Granny Hearts and Itty Bitty Hearts pattern by Sandra Paul of Cherry Heart YouTube channel. And if you haven't checked her out, I'll put her link down in the description box. But this is a free pattern on her show notes site, and I'll put a link directly to it. I really like this pattern. It's fairly easy to follow, but let me tell you one thing. I sat down to make one of these after my video last week, and I realized that this is done in English notation. So that means that every time it says TR, it means a double crochet. Every time it says DC, double crochet, it means single crochet. And that can be very confusing. So what I did was I went through the written pattern and I crossed out every time it said one of those abbreviations, and I wrote in the one that we use here in America. And this is what it looks like. I have notes all through here that I used for my written pattern. Now down here, I just wrote a list of how to do the hearts, and this is the larger heart. I haven't made this yet. I've just gone through and made the notes for the pattern. But this is the itty bitty heart, and see, if you look at the chart there, it's just one round. And I made one of those up. I thought you might like to see it. It's very, very small. I used a G hook to make it. Look at that. Isn't that cute? I mean, I don't know if you can see that, but there are two little holes right there. And it's a perfect size, and it's a very good heart shape. I really like that. One round. You can slip these into your birthday cards, Christmas cards, make them out of red, do whatever you want. I made this with a G hook, and the yarn is a DK hand-dyed yarn I found in my stash. It's no big deal. I just grabbed it and I thought, I'm going to make one of those. If I decide to make more, I will maybe even do them out of a solid color yarn, and you could see the stitch patterns much easier. But this took me about, I don't know, a minute and a half to make. It's really nice. I mean, I like it because the shape is perfect. Some hearts that I've made before were the wrong shape. This is very easy to make, and it's a good shape. Again, if you get the pattern, be sure that you go through and change the notation in the pattern to be American. And there is a key down here. There's a list of abbreviations, and 3 of those say USA on them. So be sure that you go through and change those before you start crocheting. Other than that, it's very easy to do, and there's also a little chart there, so it makes it much easier to make this little heart. But I thought you'd like to see that. I may make the bigger one when I'm on my trip. I don't know if I'll be able to think that much, but I may take it with me, and we'll see what happens with that. I wanted to tell you too that I had ordered some Jasmine Rapture, which is W-R-A-P-T-U-R-E. Rapture is a kind of like a soap that you soak your woolens in, and you can do that even with acrylics to soften them up. That's what people tell me. So I'm going to try that maybe on this sweater, or I might try it on my new cobblestone, my little purple sweater that I'm making. But this makes the wool or the yarn a little bit softer, and this one is called, if you can read that, it's called Soak. That's hard to read on there. S-O-A-K. That's one brand. And I went on Amazon and I was looking for some Rapture. I ordered it. It was $10 a bottle, and I didn't think about how big the bottle was. I thought it was pretty good size. This is 3 1/3 ounces, and that's as big as it is. See my hands? It's just not very big. It's a little bitty bottle, and that's okay because I think you only use a teaspoon, 1 teaspoon. So there are a lot of teaspoons in here, so I'm not worried about it. But it is kind of it's pretty thick in there, so I think it'll be great. I'm excited that I have it. I'm glad that I ordered it because I was running out of my samples that I'd been sent, and so I'm all done with those, and now I have my Rapture. So I wanted to show you that. I ordered that just the other day, and it came, so I wanted you to see that. Another way to wear this sweater is to roll up the cuffs, and I tried this today and I really like it. It stays up pretty well because this yarn is toothy, and I don't know if you know what that means. Toothy means it's a little bit rough. It's not rough on your skin though. It's very, very soft. It's not uncomfortable at all, but it does stick to itself. So when you turn up your cuff, and the stripes match up very nicely, so that's not a problem. But when you turn up your cuff, you can wear it as a short sleeve sweater, and I like it like that. I really do. I like it like this. So with a tank top underneath it, it's very, very easy to wear. As you know, I'm leaving to go out of town for a few days, And I'm going to pack up a lot of crochet. It'll be a 10-hour trip on each side, and I'll probably be driving maybe 4 or 5 hours of that. We trade off every hour so that we don't get too tired, my husband and I. And when we get to where we're going, I still have time in the evening that I can crochet. So I'm really excited, but I'm going to have a lot of time. I won't have my computer, so that's a huge distraction for me. My emails come in just like crazy, and I have several email addresses that I use, so I have to check those all the time. And I can actually check those on my phone. But I wanted to tell you that I'm going to pack up many whips, and I may not work on all of them. I know that there's one more that I wanted to tell you about, and I may have already told you all about this, so pardon me if I've already done that. This is a project that I started last week with Date Nights yarn by Lion Brand. Date Nights yarn. It's a beautiful yarn with lots of bling. There's a ton of bling in this yarn, and this is how much I have left from my first skein. So I have gone this far, and I've gotten pretty far with it. Just, I don't know, maybe 10 or 15 inches. And so this is how I do when I start crocheting. I will lay it up to myself to be sure that I have plenty of yarn to get me to the sleeve, under the underarm, so that I'm not working with too short a piece. I want to be sure I have plenty of length on there. So I hold it up to myself quite often and say, okay, there's 3 more inches to go on this before I can even break for the neckline. So that's where I am right now. I'll probably have plenty of yarn. I have 2 more cakes left. This is enough yarn to do about 3 rows, maybe not 3 inches, but 3 rows. So I will be working on that as well because it's just so beautiful. I love this color too. The pink is something I don't work with all that often, but I do like it. So I'll be taking that. I'll be taking my purple cobblestone. I'll be taking my blue and white sweater. I'll be taking my Mellowspun sweater. And I probably have another 1 or 2, the Summer Kiss sweater that I'm working on in the Earl Grey color. And maybe my wool City Shadows in the blue color. I might take that. So I have a lot of project bags that I'm going to load up. And speaking of project bags, Jo will be here a little bit later, and she's going to show you 2 brand new bags that she's made this week. One is very small. I think it's interesting looking. Jo knows that I love large project bags, but I do like the looks of the little one. I think that's really cute. But she'll show you that in just a little bit. So what we're going to do is we're going to do our giveaway right now, and then Jo's going to come in after that and show you her 2 brand new project bags. Okay, here we are back. It's giveaway time, and I'm going to give away 3 gifts this week. I asked you on Thursday's video if you would put a comment with the word red, you would be in the running for one of the gifts today. So I'm going to show you what the gifts are, and then we're going to turn the camera to the computer. So the giveaway gift number 1 is for the Afghan booklet and the Learn to Crochet booklet. These are 2 good booklets. Very nice, nice paper with lots of great information. This is a great reference book, or if you're just learning to crochet, it's a wonderful book. It has all the abbreviations on the back. Everything is in that book that you need to know to get started on crochet. And then this is a book of Afghans. They're easy beginner crochet Afghans for Lion Brand Homespun. And if it goes on sale, you can get several skeins of it. You can whip one of these up this summer for fall. So let me get that up there where you can see it. There's some really pretty Afghans in here. So I wanted to show those to you. Now, that will be for gift number 1. For giveaway winner number 2, we're giving away the green apple in the Red Heart Super Saver Ombre. So Red Heart Super Saver Ombre in the green apple. Very beautiful. Oh, it's so pretty, but I won't have time to work with that, so I'm going to give it away. And giveaway gift number 3 is Anthracite, which is the gray Super Saver Ombre. Very beautiful. It's very similar to the Mandala Cool colorway, and I've made a couple of things from that. And my friend Jo made a beautiful scarf out of that cool mandala, and that's why I went and bought it, because I thought it was so gorgeous. This is the same colorway, and it's an ombre, very similar to the mandala. So I really like this. This is beautiful, but I don't have anything I need to make from it right now, so I'm going to give this away to giveaway winner number 3. So let's turn the camera to the computer and find out who wins these 3 gifts. Here we are at the computer, and this is the URL from last Thursday. This is the word red, which is the keyword, and let's find out how many comments we had with those criteria, with the word red. Actually is all I required you to do. 389. That's awesome. Thank you for participating, everybody. Now let's find out who wins the Lion Brand Afghan book and the How to Crochet book. That would be Joyce Morales. Joyce Morales, you have won those 2 prizes, and you know, here's red right there in her comment. So Joyce, you have won giveaway gift number 1. Let's find out who wins number 2, and that would be the Green Apple Red Heart Ombre, and that would be June Johnson. June Johnson, there is the word red in her comment. So June, you've won the June, you've won the Green Apple Red Heart. Here we go. Let's find out who wins the Anthracite, which is the gray color. Pearl Ray 1, you have won that, the gray Red Heart Ombre, and there's the word red in her comment. So congratulations to all the winners. Be sure you send me your mailing address. Congratulations to everybody. That was a fun giveaway. I enjoyed that. That was great. Now, let's decide what we're going to give away for next Monday. I won't be here at the end of the week, so don't be looking for me unless I decide to send a video out from wherever I am. So I don't look for me, but you never know what'll happen. So the giveaway for next week is going to be my Stonewash pattern, and the reason I'm giving this away is that I made this out of coastal cotton from Loops and Threads by Michaels in the blue colorway. Now I have enough of this purple to make the Stonewash sweater, I think. Now you might have to order some more of it. I don't think so. It took me 3 skeins to make this in about a medium size, right about a medium size. So if you're a larger woman, then you might want to buy an extra skein, but I'm giving away 4 skeins of this, so that should be ample to make the Stonewash sweater. Now if it's not, I'm sorry, but I'm doing this because it's kind of a coordinated giveaway, and it's just going to be one giveaway for next Monday, so be sure you sign up. And the keyword is going to be coastal, and be sure to spell it right. C-O-A-S-T-A-L. C-O-A-S-T-A-L. Coastal. C-O-A-S-T-A-L. And that will get you in the running for this giveaway gift. Now, I was actually going to use this to make another Stonewash, but now that I'm making the blue and white out of the rag yarn from Mary Maxim, I've decided not to make another one because I have one in my closet already. So I've got 2 that will be by this pattern. And I'm trying to make all my patterns twice. I've done that for most of them actually. But this is one of my favorite patterns. It's a simple pattern. You can make it up in no time. And it's really pretty when you put it on. It just seems to fit very well. And this yarn is perfect for this pattern. It's called a Stonewash because it looks like a Stonewash yarn. It's a very beautiful yarn, coastal cotton by Loops and Threads, and I don't know if they still have this or not. I love this so much that I paid full price for it. So next week's giveaway will be the pattern and also 4 skeins of the yarn that I used to actually make this sweater. So be sure to put a comment in the comment section and use the word coastal, C-O-A-S-T-A-L. Now here we have our video of the week from Jo of Jo for Totes. She has 2 brand new bags to show us, so let's take a look at those.
Hi, it's Jo with Jo for Totes, and I have 2 bags to show you today. The first one goes to Jax, J-A-X, who lives in Linwood, Washington State. And she requested a bag with blues and greens and purples, and I just found some perfect fabric that matched her request. So you can see, let me show you the back first. There's blues and greens on the back, and on the front there's purple, and I found this fabric that has the purple and the blues and the greens all mixed together. Here's a medallion. I want to see if I can show you that. I moved my light, so hopefully you can see those a little bit better. And then on the inside of this pocket, it's all purple. On the inside of the bag, she didn't want a top closure, but she did want an inside zipper. So on the inside of the zipper, I put purple. And then for her zipper pull, I found this real pretty jewel crystal, and then I put the little lamb charm on there for her. And I hope she really like it. There's her stitch markers. And for the binding, I used the same purple fabric that I used on the inside of the zipper and on the inside of the outside pouch. The stitch on her handles is a real pretty purple, and well, it's just a scrolly type stitch, a really pretty purple stitch. So that's going out in the mail tomorrow for Jax. And so the second bag, do you remember last week when I showed you the camping bag? It had little pretty cute little campers on it, and it was huge. It was the biggest bag I've ever made. Well, Joyce, that is from Los Angeles, I made her a bag last year and she asked for another one, but this time she wanted a small bag. Look how cute that is. It's 7 by 7 by 3. Just the smallest bag. And you know, you would think that the smaller bags take less time, and to some degree they do, but because they're smaller, they're a little bit more difficult to work around the sewing machine. Like getting this inside binding on, that was a little tricky. But anyway, let me go ahead and show you. Oh, so she wanted an ocean theme. Well, when my husband and I were in Sanibel Island, I guess it was last month, it was in January, there is a quilt store there that has all this fabulous fabric, and I already knew that Joyce wanted this ocean theme, so I found this fabric, and it's just got all, it's like coral under the water, and if you look closely, let me see if I can find it, they have seahorses in the fabric. And I'm not seeing that right off the bat, but on some of this fabric, there are little seahorses. Anyway, some of the medallion is just a little bit smaller than the regular size, but not too much, because I use that medallion to hide the snap that closes the little pocket. It's a little pocket. So this looked like little bubbles under the ocean, and then the ocean theme. For her handle, I found this stitch that kind of looks like some of the coral, fan coral that's on the front of the bag. I just thought it was real cute and it went well. So I used the same fabric that I used for the outside pocket for the binding, and she wanted an inside zipper. And so on the inside zipper, I put the same blue and green fabric that I used for Jax's bag because it matched the fabric on the outside of the bag. And I had a yellow zipper in there. And then for her little charm for her zipper, I found some blue and some kind of a grayish green type color. And then for the little charm, there's a little starfish. So I thought all those in a snap closure. So that turned out really, really cute. This little bitty bag. I think she's probably going to use it for small little crochet things, and also for maybe a purse, because it is really cute. Very cute. I wish I had that large one to compare the two, but I'll show you the comparison just with this regular size bag, which is 13 by 13. So it's not quite half the same size as the regular size, but just a little bit bigger. She wanted to go with smaller than this, and I told her, I said, I think you'll be happier with a little bit bigger bag. Not that this one's big, but anyway, I think she'll really like that. Just show you real quick this scarf that I crocheted. I'll show you the bottom of it. You can see the stitch defined a little bit better. Didn't that just turn out so pretty? I just keep crocheting, and I just keep loving all these new patterns that I'll learn how to do. It's so much fun. But anyway, until I see you next time, this is Jo with Jo for Totes. Bye.
Thank you, Jo, for sending us that video of your new bags. I hope that if anyone's interested in purchasing a bag from Jo, you can start an email conversation with her, and her email address will be down in the description box, so be sure to pop down there and send Jo an email if you're interested in her making you a project bag that's custom just for you. So join me on Monday when we find out what's on the hook.